Generic greetings and welcome to Sprocket. Today's beverage is a very nice winter wonderland coffee. It's basically coffee with, I think it's like almond, cinnamon, apple spice, things like that added to it, because naturally it's mid-October as I record this and all of the shops are getting the Christmas stuff in. Either way, welcome to Sprocket. This is a tank designer where either you make a vehicle for just the sandbox mode and for fun, or for specific scenarios which have certain objectives you need to meet, and obviously you're going to tailor the vehicle in order to meet those objectives. It's not just a game where you place a box, a couple of tracks on the side and maybe the odd gun, but you have to worry about very specific things like the armour angling and thickness and the horsepower of the engine, displacement, overall track sizes and layouts, as well as basically making the gun from scratch. It's a very in-depth simulation and in-depth game. Either way, it's something that I've played for about maybe an hour and a half now, so still the first impressions only, and also it is in early access, so typical disclaimers, it ain't finished, nothing is finalised, etc, etc. With that said and done, I'm going to jump in and show you a little bit of the game. Probably not a lot, but we'll see how we get on. We're going to go to scenarios, and I've tried 3 scenarios: No Tanks Land, Ambush, and I think it was Railway, which is basically an open map where you get shot. But anyway, No Tanks Land. I think it's also set in different eras, but yeah. No Tanks Land. So we have an objective, and it is to destroy 75% of the artillery. So first things first, the artillery is, as far as I can tell, not in visual range at that, or my draw distance is set to 2002 shooter setting, but it's in the background there. So that's what we need to do. We have the essentials of our vehicle. We need a driver, a gunner, a loader. We need a mantlet, driver's port, and a gunner's sight. That's what you need at minimum. You also have different internal spaces and weights. For our total mass of this is 34.74 tons, and you've got a lot of options for, well, pretty much everything. So this is the armor here. And you can see, like, we've got different, like, armor shapes, so I can alter, like, the angling of this. This is front glaciers here, and you can alter, like, where it is. You could put that right farther forward. You can even have it just a straight flat thing. No, sadly, no pike nose as far as I can tell, which would be a nice little addition, but there you are. But you can change, like, all manner of things, and as you can see, we are dragging this and making the tank bigger, and yeah, you can pretty much just make, oh, that's like a mouse droid from Star Wars. Probably not do that. Let me bring that further down. So you have to, like I say, alter this vehicle pretty much. You're gonna fabricobble it together using wrought iron and just iron off straight from the foundry and just make it from scratch. So let's do that. So first things first, you can see it says it needs a mantlet, a driver's port, and a gunner's sight. So let's just do what it says, and let's see how we get on. Spoiler alert, it won't be good. So let's go over to our mantlet. So we're going to go to firepower and then select a mantlet. I'm going to put, that's quite a big one, maybe that one there. It does actually clip to the center, so you can see it snaps to the center there, and some of these are just straight tubes, although that seems to be a bit more reasonable for our needs. There we go, that is now in. We need a driver's port, so we're going to go over to crew and then to viewport. We've got a driver's port, which normally you would have offside, but I'm going to put it right in the middle because why not? And then we also need a gunner's sight, which will go in here, I think, so slightly offset. And I can click play, but it won't do anything, I don't think. Yeah, so we have a couple of problems. It says insufficient force to aim the cannon, add a bigger motor or make the cannon more balanced, and missing commander's cupola, or is it cupola? I always say cupola. And there's shooting going on because we've got our artillery on the other side. Okay, so we need to go back to the designer, and we're going to go over to commander's cupola, and we're going to shove one in, say, the middle there. Alright, so that's fine. And it also said that we had a problem with the gun. Now, it genuinely took me about 45 minutes to figure this thing out because there's so much going on here. So here's the gun mount and the cannon, and we have our max acceleration down the bottom, and you've got these lines as well that show, like, the gun elevation, the gun depression, and also the balance. So this is actually balanced too far forward. That's the pivot point there, and this is the line to indicate basically how unbalanced the gun is. So it's actually going to go down, and you see max acceleration is in the negative, so we can never move the gun. So if we've made it like longer, you can see that obviously it's going to alter that as well. So you can have, if you want to, like a 5 meter long barrel. No, the maximum apparently is 4 meters. Okay, we're going to go with a 1.2 meter long barrel, and I'm going to probably increase the caliber to, it's 100 mil. 100 mil in World War II on a vehicle like this, that it seems ludicrous, but I don't know if it is. Anyway, I have played a lot of tanks games. World of Tanks I've got probably thousands of hours in, so I do have a bit of previous when it comes to tanks, although certainly far and away an expert. Yes, we have a bit of a problem. So max acceleration is minus. So if we put some counterweights on it, you can see that is reducing this thing here, but it's not going to put it to an area where even if we balance it perfectly, which is about there, it's still 0, so it still ain't going to shift. However, we can alter the ratio of our gun mount here and say put it at a 2.0 ratio, and which gives us our max acceleration of 0.09, so it will actually move. Yeah, it's not going to be very good, although if we put it to, what if we put it to like ratio of that, that would give us, actually top speed is pathetic, but the acceleration is not terrible. Let's go for 15 and click play, and the gun can move. It's not moving very quickly, but it is at least moving, and I can press hold. Well, you have to hold shift here, and we can zoom in, and we can send it. There we go. Okay, and will it move? Well, I can confirm it does move. Can also confirm that it doesn't move very quickly. It's extremely large for the terrain that we're on. It's also slipping. You can see we've absolutely broken that. And on the bottom left, it shows that our engine is taking far too much damage, and we're over RPMing this thing. So basically, it doesn't work. Okay, let's go back to the drawing board. Let's make something a little bit less terrible. How do I delete these? Is there a way to delete them? I'm pressing delete, but it ain't doing anything. Anyway, so we're going to make this a lot smaller for a start off. So I'm going to go to the back here, over to base, and then we're going to drag this maybe to there. I'm going to make it quite a light vehicle, hopefully quite a fast one as well. Let's go for, actually, you know what, that gun will probably be sufficient. Certainly I'll have to alter it, but I'll say firepower. And is that like it's like a turret on the top, is it? Oh, that's much too large. That's just a straight up tube, is it? I don't know what the elevation of that gun would be. Is there any? Is there any at all? It's pretty much fixed as far as I can tell. But no, it still doesn't move. Okay, back to the designer. So we don't want one of those. We're going to get rid of that. I think we had it right the first time. So firepower, gun mount, and I'm going to use one of those. So we're going to go there. Now, naturally, my instinct is to make like an absolutely stupid machine, and yes, you can do that, but I think that's where a lot of fun will be for some people. At the moment, I'm trying to make something a little bit more sensible, and that comment is probably going to come back to bite me later on in this video. So let's go ahead and actually think about the size of the turret. It's far too large. We don't need the turret as big as that, so we can shrink it down, we can alter it, maybe get it a bit smaller. As I said, we don't want a turret that's that large, and I don't really know why we've got such an angle on the front there. Maybe put it like that, a little bit taller is fine. That goes up, and I can't alter that. I can't alter that angle there. I'm sure I can. Obviously, I'm just clicky, draggy, and doing and making this move like so. Okay, it's got a mohawk. Let's put that back to about there. So yes, so there you are, and all of this is you can alter from the angle over here as well. So you know that is quite useful for us. And there you go. That's increased the cheek of the gun there, and that's actually probably a bit better for facing forward. Naturally, you have to think about the targets that you're going to be versing, the stuff that you're getting fired, shot back with, and all of that sort of thing. Okay, I think this is also far too wide, so let me go ahead and go to hull and then reduce the size of the hull as well as reduce the size of this, and sadly that's going to reduce our internal space. Okay, well, what can we do about that? Well, I'm going to reduce the number of crew for a start off. We have a commander, a driver, and a loader. Actually, wait. Let me change this. Do we need a commander? It does say driver. I think we have to have one. Why does that say passenger? Turret. How do we change that to... Oh, I'll tell you what. No, we don't need a commander. Reduce that and change that to a loader. So we don't actually have a commander. Oh, sorry, we have a commander and loader. Right, well, that makes sense. That actually makes sense that we can do that. We are still problematic when it comes to the internal space. We will resolve that probably now by going to engine, and we're currently underpowered, so we want to change this to probably a medium engine, which makes it slow. A large engine would make it severely underpowered. Strange. Let's just go for a medium then, which is a 6.4 litre V8, and we can go for a heavy, which is a 2.3 litre V12. Let's go for a medium engine. We can't increase the cylinders, but we can increase the displacement, but obviously that's going to increase the space up, the internal space. We'll have it as a 1.5 litre, and we're going to massively reduce the RPM, because the max RPM is 1,500. So let's set that to 1,500 as our RPM. Power output is okay there. I do think we need to increase the size of this vehicle then. And what's the best way of doing that? What is the best way of doing that? Well, we can flatten the front glacis, there we go, and flatten the rear. We don't need any of that. Obviously, it gives you the options for things, but I just don't think we need it. And let's just lower that right down. And I mean, it's very tall, isn't it? That's my concern. I mean, this is a tank that we could probably make wider. I mean, that seems absolutely ridiculous, doesn't it? And it almost certainly is. Alright, there we go. Would that work? I mean, it moves. RPM is 1,700 going down there. So we are going to be damaging the engine. Also, can confirm, it doesn't turn. Oh, it does turn. That's very strange. It turns there. Oh, I think I know why. No, I don't know why. I'm holding left. I'm actually currently holding left, and it's turning right. Just confirming. Yes, my fingers are on the right keys. I have no idea why it is doing that. I'm currently holding right. Okay, something's gone wrong. Something has gone wrong. Let me check mobility here. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Want to change this to not over revving. Fuel. How much fuel? How much? 800 litres. 200 litres. There we go. That's all right. That's what we can do now. This is what I'm talking about when it comes to the intricacies of everything. You know, you really have to micromanage pretty much everything in this thing, and that's where obviously a lot of the fun will be. Why is that? Is that internal space for? Which one's this? That's hull, and that's the turret. So why does... Ah, there we go. We can shrink the turret ring. Okay. That almost seems ridiculous now, having that thing on top. Can we do something else then? Crew, commanders, cupola or cupola, base, then to turret. Make that a bit wider. Actually, don't make it wider. Just do that and then bring it down, and then reduce that as well. And all this is bringing the weight down. You may notice that's a very, very flat, very, very flat thing there. You know what? Let's bring it forward. There we go. Okay. Play. It still doesn't turn. Okay. Why? Mobility. Tracks. What have we got? Actually, what we got a twin. We got a twin transmission, which allows turning in place. Smooth turn, maintains speed in turns. Disadvantage: require 2 transmission. Functions purely with a small number of gears. Clutch braking uses less space. Cannot turn in place. dramatic slow on turns and poor turns on slope. So that's better for our needs to make a less technologically advanced tank. I assume and would hope that as the game progresses on an early access, you're going to get a lot more options for transmissions and engines, different types of suspension, etc. Because there's a lot of that that you could certainly implement. Right, let's go for once again the base here and the hull, and I'm just going to shrink this down once again. And I think, what's the best course of action? Let's go for maybe, I can't really alter the height. What's that there? Rear strip. Don't really know what that's altered. Oh, whatever it's altered, it's oh, right. It's got a lot more slope on it now. That's not something I really wanted. Oh, I didn't want to alter that either. Let's go for turret ring maxed out and bring the offset back a bit and bring the height up. That's a bit better. Alright, I still haven't touched the tracks. So the track, we've got track width, track length, thickness. We can put it to a front sprocket. We got your return rollers, which are these things on here. You can turn those on and off. We'll have for return rollers. I don't think we'll have a front sprocket, but this I want to bring probably there. And you can alter the wheels. Maybe that's an is that an idler? Yeah, that's the idler. Road wheels you can have interleaved, so you can have them. See that they're like offset and the further like they go in there. Well, interleaved. That is the term. The sprocket diameter for the rear will max out. You can also change the mount size as well if you really wanted to. There you go. I don't know what effect that has, but there you go. We've had some effect on it. And let's go with... Oh. So hang on. Sponsor. Oh! Can you make a pike nose then? Oh, you may be able to make a pike nose. It's possible, I think. It's possible. I wanted to shrink this up. Doesn't look like I can anymore. It's not letting me alter the size of it. We've got a little bit of clipping there. Let's try that out. Oh, no, it can't. Not heavy, not big enough. There we go. Play. Okay. RPM is still over what I would expect, but it does turn. There's all the artillery going off. And can we fire? We can fire, and it's a big boom when it hits as well. Problem is, engine's getting damaged. Right, what can we do about that? Maybe mobility. Engine. Bit of exhaust there. Vents. Put some vents on for the crew. Turn off mirroring. Crew vents. Don't know what that'll do, but there you go. Engine. Transmission. You can change all the gearing. I am nowhere near at a level where I can even touch that. Track width. Feels like it should be wider. You can alter the length of the track as well, so how much, like... Oh, how many, like, sections you have in it. Fair enough. Maybe need to make... diameter bigger? Okay. And maybe... the axle spacing. Oh, there we go. So we're using the same amount of wheels, but we're spacing out to there. Not going to alter the return rollers. You can have more... Oh, you can have... Oh, yes, you can have more per axle. There you go. That'll do us. Okay. Engine, then. Displacement. Let's have it 2 litres. Let's give that a go. Definitely a bit faster. RPM, though, is still in the red. I still can't figure that one out. There's all the shells going out. Tell you what, let's just test this. Let's just get to a point where we can start shooting. Or at least being shot back. Oh, we got some yellow engine on the bottom left. That ain't good. That ain't ideal. See, turret traverses poor. In fact, hang on. It seems as if the controls are they're reversed. It's like locked in position. It's working now. Engine's in red. RPM's too high. Do we have to change the gear ratio? We have used... Oh, that's big explosions. We've used a little bit of fuel. Not so much. Let's raise the gun up a bit. Comes from over there. Send it! Good grief. Oh. Alright, okay. There's fire coming out of the vents. It says immobilized. Technically, I can still fight. No, everybody's dying. Abandoned ship. It's actually then putting in this to another vehicle, an AI vehicle, but that's not working out. Okay, so where do we need to go for engine then? Max RPM is 1,400. So 1,400, 1,400. Target min. Right. Change to 4 litre. The RPM changes. So that increases the torque. Right. Okay. There we go. So I've made it a bigger engine. Increase the torque per ton. Okay. Just need to make it a little bit different now, size-wise. Maybe make it a little bit wider. There we go. Oh, we could do that. Bit cramped. Bit cosy. Bit cosy. It's still 34 tons. What can we shave off? I think we can shave off armour. Base, armour, effective armour thickness, and it also counts for angle as well. So at the front there, you can see the thickness is 100 mil, but the angle is a 35 degree, so the effective armour thickness increases. Same as if you put it on the side, even better. On the top here, you can see, look at that. It ricochet bounds because it's a 30 mil, but the hit angle is at like 86 mil. 75 mil side armour. I think side we can reduce that to 30 and 30, and look at that. Yeah, that's going right down. Rear 0. You know what? 10 mil, 10 mil. 10 mil, 10 mil. You know, it's a forward-facing vehicle, this one. We are making something that's not ideal. It's still got very good armor thickness. This is, I think, one of the downsides is that it gives you this generic thing, but doesn't really say, well, actually, like, this is what they had. Like, it doesn't give you a reference, like, for maybe historical ones. Anyway, we will go for back to the shape and shrink it down again. Just make it lighter. The lighter, the better. I think we can also probably get rid of some of those tracks. But anyway, let's see. Still RPM is too high. That's my main problem now. I should probably maybe alter the gun. It's a far too big a gun for this size of vehicle. Yeah, it is far too stupidly large, isn't it? It's, I mean, I know they you can't, no, there's no such thing as a gun that's too big. I mean, normally I'd like to agree, but, you know, it does feel like it's just a little bit too A little bit too large there. Anyway. Just trying to change this up. There we go. There's that. So what else can we put on, actually? We've got firepower, crew, you've got different antennas, you've got storages, you've got lights. I mean, we can, like, always put some, like, lights on here. We'll put mirroring on, obviously, and put some nice lights on there. You've got viewports that you can have on, so there you go. You can put them, like, on the sides or whatever. Different utilities, so there's standard log for getting yourself unstuck. Oh, have we got one of those things that go on the back? Where is it? Oh yeah, one of those. There you go. Place one of those in the back to stop. It's like a trench crossing skid or something. All right. Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough. What's that? Is that extra armor? It might be. Might be extra armor. Anti-infantry. You can put a machine gun on the top, or even a hull gunner. Nah, we're not gonna have a hull gun on this. Okay, so we want... What do we want? Once again, mobility. We haven't really looked at the transmission. We can reduce the gears, but I'm not going to bother messing around too much, mainly because I don't have a clue how to alter it too much. You can also auto-generate the fenders there, but I think those are not big enough, so we'll increase the size of the fenders. We'll have the different sections added up. That'll also go forward a little bit. And now it's looking even more ridiculous. So it says idle 200 RPM. Max RPM is that. So if we set the RPM lower, oops, would that work? Medium engine that. I mean, we could go for a bigger one, but anyway, let's go. Let's go. Seems to be a bit better. I think it's the gearing. It's still in red. But I don't know because there's pretty much no documentation. Gearing. Gearing. Does it ever change, actually? Change that to 7. 7. I don't know if it actually gets to... Does it get to a different gear? It just goes straight to gear 3. Does it? Right. All the gears are the same. There you go. Let's see what happens. Nothing. Okay, I'm going to have to check this one up. Okay, I've had a play around with several things, including the engine, its overall displacement capacity, also altered gearing ratios, and after about 20 minutes made it so that it actually drives without blowing up pretty much immediately. So we have this vehicle here. It has a nice steady RPM ranging from about 900 to 1100, although it'll change up as we go up and down terrain. But the main thing is it's not stressing all of the time. We can also turn the turret, and hopefully we can also take a hit. Hang on, did you see that? We had a shot that was going out from our other vehicle over there. So let's see if we can get this objective done. So just heading over to the well, to the front here. One thing I haven't really made note on is the actual terrain itself. It's well, it's got a distinct colour palette, that's for sure. In the other modes, you'll also get some that. Why is the gun pointing down endlessly? Oh, there we go. Can it rise up further? It can, yeah. You've got some ones that are nice and green and things like that as well, so that's pretty good. I do still think there is a problem altering that. Good grief. It's because of this gun size, it takes absolutely ages to go up and down. It's also a big gun for this this size of vehicle. Hang on, whoa, we just get shot back there. There's certainly artillery coming in, but I'm pretty sure we got shot at there, and I have no idea whether or not we can take that hit, but we shall see. I'm just keeping an eye on the front here to see if any shots whiz our way. There's some explosions in the distance. Is that? Oh, hang on, there we go. We have I think, an anti-tank gun somewhere. I've zoomed right in and I can't see. There's one! Well, that worked out. We were taken out in one hit, and in fact we've brewed up. You can see the ammo's gone up and everything else, so okay, that's all kinds of bad. At least we know that we need to improve the armour, so every cloud and all that. So just going to keep heading forward. There's some artillery coming in, and it didn't seem to affect us because of the distance there, and naturally no direct hit. And now we have another thing to deal with. We have to cross a trench, and I didn't account for this, but it's oh, hang on, can we go? No, that's blatantly made of wood. Okay, I think this is pretty much stuck, and yeah, I think that's pretty much stuck. Back to the designing there. Okay, so we know that this thing is not that fast. The armor is, well, it didn't take a direct hit, that's for sure. Over to the cannon, I'm going to alter the length of the barrel to 1.5 meters, and probably add some. I actually reduce the counterweight there, because I want to try and make this thing a little bit lighter. It is 100 mil. We're going to change that to a 75 mil caliber, and oh, we can add counterweight. No, actually, the best thing to do is to increase the caliber until we've got, oh, there we go, just 100 mil, and maybe length of the barrel just to try and balance this thing out. I'll change it to 1.10, and there we go. So this has lightened the vehicle out. It's also I think, oh yeah, it seems to have altered the gun elevation and turret rotation speed, because there's less weight in there, so that's pretty good. We have our other vehicle over on the right. We've got another one on the left somewhere. My objective is to, you know what, should we try and climb this massive mountain here, which is only about maybe the size of the tank. Admittedly, the ground itself is a little bit boggy. No tank marks, like tread marks behind us, which is a little bit disappointing, but there you go. I'm going to go over here and sort of crest this ridge and try. Whoa, see that? It turned the other way. That's interesting. And we'll see if we get to the top. We are able to get to the top, and we have actually decent gun. Oh, hang on, we're getting shot. We're getting shot at. We're getting shot at from all kinds of places. Right. Let's go ahead and zoom in, and I think it was over there somewhere. And ow! Okay, we got hit. Oh, we got hit again. Okay, but at least we survived it this time. This is a good omen. Where is? Over there somewhere. Okay, I can see another problem, and that pinged off. Another problem is that I've put the gun sight. There's something there. Hang on. Defeat. Yeah, I put the gun sight in a terrible position. I can't see anything because the gun. This. What is that? The. It's not a flash suppressor. I think it's just to stop dirt getting blatted around the muzzle brake. We could just remove the muzzle brake. Just remove the muzzle brake. It's a lot easier. We can put the gun. We can actually put the gun off to one side. I can't imagine that is ideal. The gunner's sight we can, however, put off to one side. Okay, one last attempt to see if we can do at least the bare minimum. I must confess, after nearly 2 hours of play, this is generally my experience. It is very much trial and error, and that's where I guess the fun of the game is. It's trying to design your own vehicle and making sure that it can operate on whatever field you fling it at, field of battle, and also, well, working on the limitations of the technology of the day and I guess the weight of your vehicle and things like that. I don't know what my turret armor is like, actually. I can't remember what I set it to. And let's go up here, and there we go. Right, so we're getting shot from there. Let's go ahead and, oh, we're sliding back. Right, we've got a parking brake. Let's put the handbrake on. Ping. Okay, ping. Right, zooming in. And ping, ping. It was over here. That's not it there, is it? Oh, that's artillery. That's an anti-tank gun. Right, there's an anti-tank gun there. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fire. Okay, short. Round short. It's the reloading time because of the size of the shell is quite a lot. So, ping. Okay, it's the proper tin can sounds. Miss. Good grief, we are mortaring this thing in really now. The AI all seems to be deadly accurate too. Fire. Miss. But it was high this time. Right, dialing it in. Dialing it in. I guess if you made a tank that's got an exceptionally accurate gun, you could probably take out some of those artillery pieces, because I can see them from here. I can't point them out. There's a little blemish on the land. On the hill there, on the left-hand side. Yes! We got the anti-tank gun. There it is there. It's over there. See that where it's firing? Right, so, apparently one of our tanks has been knocked out. Is that true? Yeah, one tank has been knocked out. I can't see another one. Oh, ping! Right. So, let's zoom in. Zooming in. Is that it there? Looks to be there. Fire! Well, I'm pretty sure I hit that, but apparently I didn't. So, slight alterations in our trajectory here, and a yeet. Missed again. Okay. We'll go there. We've only used a couple of litres of fuel. And the armour is effectively bouncing all the shots, which is good. Okay, again, seems to be a bit short. I also didn't check out my ammo. I can't remember how much ammo I've got left. I've got 15 rounds, 14 rounds now. Missed again. I'm not seeing the explosion behind what I'm firing at. Darn it. Ah, that was over. That was defeat. But we did take a gun out this time. Okay, well, that is a little bit of Sprocket. I'm not going to show you much more than that. There are some vehicles that come with the game, and things like, you've got like your Panther there, which, I mean, obviously it's a lovely looking vehicle that's been made in here. And this just shows you the type of things that you can create in the game. There's a Crom Tilda, does that say? So it's a Matilda and a Cromwell blended together. That's a JU-76 Salamander, and also a Model 1, which is, yeah, I guess pretty much okay for this one. Look at the weight of it, though. It's only 7.5 tons, whereas ours, which is the Mark 7, is 27 tons. Oh, there you go. Either way, that is a bit of Sprocket. My overall thoughts and feelings are that it is a decent simulation and it can be quite fun. However, it's been marred with frustration. Mainly because of the lack of documentation. I found looking on the forums and the guides is pretty much a must. Admittedly, they do say very clearly on the early access page that one of the main things at the moment, there is little to no information and feedback, so it's basically you're going to have to find it yourself. Fair enough, but obviously not a decent player experience. I'm looking forward to trying out some of the other missions, but it depends on how long I can really stomach failing over and over and over again without any sets of progress. But hang on, I'm sure that front sprocket was a lot bigger. Why is it being reduced to something tiny now? Interesting. Either way, it is what it is. I'm going to play a bit more, but I think, obviously, with it being early access, time will hopefully be kinder to it. But the thing is, there's nothing much like it. It's a very accurate... Well, I'm not going to say accurate, because I don't have the qualification to say whether it's accurate or not. I'm not a tank designer, but it's a very in-depth tank builder, and I'm sure a lot of people may get some fun out of it. Either way, hope you have enjoyed it. If you want to see more, by all means, let me know in the comments. If you have any tips, suggestions for improvements, or ways I've got to done things, or bits that I've got wrong that you would like to correct and fix on the vehicle, and by all means let me know in the comments. Hope you have enjoyed it. Thanks very much for watching. Take care, and generic partings.